we are here with Adrian Yanez. He's 9-3, and he fights at LFA 73 this Friday. He's in the headlining bout. This is a rematch from, I believe, your second pro fight with Levi Mouse?
Yes, sir. Yeah, this was a while back ago. Yeah, my second pro fight.
Okay, and I mean, there's got to be a lot of hype and a lot of emotions going into this fight, no?
Man, I've just been treating it like every other fight. I really can't get too emotional in it, because that's how I went in the first fight. I went too emotional. I went too cocky. Went too overconfident. You know, and it was my second pro fight. You know, I was overhyped. You know, and I just went with so much emotion. Just, you know, you could probably tell in the first round whenever I fought him. You know, he did something like he like waved me in, and I was just automatically got over emotional and just came back with like, okay, what's up? And I mean, you can see it physically in the fight, you know. So I'm just not getting wrapped up into the emotion side. I'm just going in there just because I love to fight, and that's what I love to do. So I'm just gonna take it like that.
Yeah, I think that's the mindset that you need going into a rematch, especially when the first fight didn't go your way. So I think mentally, you're hitting all the check marks there, my man. So that's very good. So like I said before, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Jonathan. And we were scrambling, so Jonathan, what do you got for Mr. Yanez?
Well, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to hang out with us and let us pick your brain a little bit.
No, thank y'all, man. Thank y'all for the opportunity.
The first question I got for you is, I noticed that 5 of your fights were finished by knockout or TKO. Do you see yourself adding another knockout in your upcoming fight?
That's the goal, man. I'm always planning to finish, but man, I'm not gonna intentionally look for the knockout. I'm not looking for the one-pot shots, you know, just trying to knock them out, you know, because that's what I did in my first fight against him. You know, I went in there just thinking I could knock him out, you know, and I'd throw heavy leather, you know, and I couldn't do it, you know. So I got away from my time, got away from my shots, you know. If it's a knockout, man, I love it, you know. I love knocking people out. But if it's a submission too, you know, if the submission comes, I'll take that too, or a decision. But overall, man, I think the people love a knockout, you know, and that's what I love to give people.
Well, and you wouldn't be, if you don't get the knockout, it's okay. Everybody knows Levi's got a really hard head.
Oh, yeah. I figured that from the first fight when we fought. Hit him with the overhand right, and I just remember thinking, like, he's supposed to go down now, but he didn't go down.
Yeah.
So my next question is, what do you normally do in preparation? You know, we got you at fight week. You know, of course, you're fighting this Friday. But what do you do to get prepared for your fights during fight week?
During fight week, man, I just really just like to keep training. You know, I like to be around fighters. You know, I like to watch fights. I like to immerse myself into fighting. You know, because it just makes it more comfortable for me. And then also too, the side thing, you know, getting a little bit of gaming in. You know, I like to play like a little bit of I don't even get away from fighting. You know, I play like Mortal Kombat. I'll play Mortal Kombat all day, you know, just a little bit more gruesome. So I'm not necessarily straying away too far from fighting, you know. So, and it's just trying to keep my mind off the weight cut, because the weight cut's the toughest part. So if I can just keep myself busy, you know, and just keep myself into fights, you know, and you know, which is great for me right now, is that the UFC is fighting the day after. So like I get to see some of the last week. I get to keep up with some fighters and interviews that's going on this week with other fighters. So it helps me know that I'm not going through this alone. So that's a pretty cool thing about this sport. You know, every weekend another promoter, somebody else is fighting, another UFC, another Bellator. You know, so you kind of get to keep your mind in fighting all the time.
Now, do you have a particular fighter that you like to watch to kind of get you, like, I guess, might sound weird, but kind of get you in that fight mood, I guess?
Oh man, I like to watch a lot of people, man. I like watching Max Holloway. You know, I love his style. You know, I love the way he cuts the angles, man. So watching him this past Saturday was really cool. You know, he was just a week away from my fight. Watching him, you know, watching him cut those angles against Frankie. You know, hitting him with those little clean shots coming in. Not every shot was a hard shot. You know, he was kind of looking and setting up the harder shot. You know, and it was a really good, masterful game plan that he had. So, yeah, it's really great. And then, man, I'm another fighter. You know, I remember watching Israel Adesanya when he first came into the UFC, and I remember watching that fight and watching him when he first got into the UFC was really impressive because he stopped the guy, but yet he wasn't all too impressed with his own stoppage. And you know, seeing that, you know, made me a fan of him. So I keep up with him. But other than that, I'd like to watch like some LFA, you know, LFA alumni. You know, I was watching Ricky Simone when he fought Faber, and then Kevin Aguilar. You know, he's been tearing it up. I know he had a tough one his last fight, man, but that guy's tough as nails. You know, and I like to watch him fight. And also this weekend, Trevin Giles. You know, I like to watch him fight too. He's a tough guy, man. I really love watching him fight. You know, I trained alongside him way back in the day before I even had my first MMA fight, and yeah, just seeing him in the gym, you know, and seeing him where he's at now, you know, it just brings a different inspiration, you know. So I like to keep up with those guys.
Nice. Yeah, I think it always. I find it great that you know you guys can. You guys have your favorite fighters that you guys look up to, and you guys kind of try to not mimic their style, but kind of like, I guess, shadow fight, if you will, because their styles are so great.
Oh yeah. That's a big reason why I love Max Holloway. I always tell myself if I want to base myself behind any two people, it would have been Lomachenko and Max Holloway. You know, because I just love the way they cut their angles. I just love their combination work too. You know, it's all beautiful setups, and I love it.
That's awesome. Well, my third and final question I got for you is, while you're not training, you know, getting ready for a fight, or like if you, I'm fumbling over my words. I'm sorry. Whenever you're not training, what do you do in your spare time?
Man, in my spare time, man, I just like to kick back and relax, you know, because I usually like to stay busy, man. I usually like to keep working out, you know. I don't like getting lazy, you know, because then you get lazy, you know. It's harder to get off that couch, you know. So I just like to keep active, you know. But you know, whenever I do get to sit back and lay back, you know, I like to watch my Netflix. I like to hang out with my family and friends, you know. It's the same thing, because when you're in training camp, you know, you really don't get that luxury of just being able to hang out with your loved ones, you know. So that's what I like to do, you know. You know, every once in a while I take a trip, you know. But my biggest thing is right after training camp, right after all that, you know, I just like to try to see as much family as I can, and much family and friends, you know, because yeah, that time in training camp, you know, it's so brutal. You don't want to do anything on the weekends. You're just trying to recover, you know, so you don't really have the time to do it. So that's what I love to do whenever I'm out of training camp.
Gotcha. Now, when, like, after your fight, so like, let's say, you know, after you're done fighting, you know, this Friday and whatnot, do you normally take some time off, or is it just back to the grindstone?
Well, the way my mindset is right now, I want to get back to the grindstone, but I know sometimes I'm a little bit like, I jump the gun a little bit sometimes, you know, so sometimes people need to pull me back. My coach might need to pull me back on this one a little bit and tell me, hey, like, let's wait till October, November to get you a fight again. You know, if anything, if I, like, let's just say I win this fight, I can get the chance to get the call or get a LFA title shot. You know, that's what I'm really gunning for. But you know, if it was up to me, I would pretty much be fighting every month, every other 2 months. You know, every month, every other month. if it was up to me. But I know I need to let myself rest, because if not, I'll burn my.
Yeah, I understand you on that. Well, thank you very much again for your time. That's all I've got for you. I'll send you back over to the host. Steve, what you got, man?
Well, I just want to commend you on coming up with all that shit on the fly. We was not prepared, but Jonathan got it done. But I will say he did drop the ball. Now, you were talking about how you like to play some video games, and you mentioned specifically Mortal Kombat. Now, I would be a fool if I didn't ask, what's the character that you play?
Oh man, right now on MK11, I was whenever I was playing online, I had a couple go-tos, man. I can't really name my favorite one, but the one I would go to the most was more than likely Cabal. I just love the speed factor that whenever I was playing with them, it was really working in my favor, and I could really use them. The combinations I was able to set up with them on MK11 was great. But another close second was Kung Lao. I just love that little teleportation trick that I was able to do with them. So it's a little bit nerdy now, but now that I was able to get that Shang Tsung download, I was playing with him for a little bit, so, man, it just brought it back to nostalgia for me because, whenever he was going out there and he's like, your soul is mine, man, it brought it back to the movie. Yeah, I was having all sorts of fun with that.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking cool, man. I remember I don't play video games because I absolutely suck at them. That's probably why I'm so into fighting, because it's more physical and it's probably something that I can do. I tried competing when I was younger, but now I'm all old and broken, so we won't get into my sob story. But have you ever taken anything away from one of these video games that you play and used it in a fight?
Man, well, I really kind of like the and I'll just go back to Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
I kind of no technique in particularly, but there's no technique, but whenever I just kind of think in my head, I think of the whole finish, and I think of that, and I'm just like, you're gonna go for the finish. You gotta finish him. You gotta finish him. So that's kind of something that's been in my mindset, ever since I was playing it on the Nintendo back in the day. So yeah, I just had that mindset of just wanting to finish people. So that I could take that from it. Honestly, if I get any techniques, it'll probably be from UFC, from the UFC EA Sports games, But I can't really bring some of those katanas or swords, into the cage,
Yeah. Okay. See, my fighting game, which was actually one that I was pretty good at, was Killer Instinct Gold for the 64. Do you remember that one?
Oh yeah. I wasn't in particularly too good. My brother would kick my ass on that game.
Yeah. See, that was the only game where I kicked everybody's ass. I used to go. I used to play as Saber Wolf and just button mash the hell out of it until my brother started teaching me some combinations. And once he did that, everybody was fucked. So.
Oh yeah.
The only game that I'm good at, though. That's it, and it's because I can button mash and I can be good at it. Right?
Yeah. That was me. I was a button masher, but still, I'd still get my butt beat.
Now, I want to talk to you about finish him, right? So in the game, it says finish him. So in the fight, you try to kind of replicate that, right? When you got a guy hurt, you're trying to finish. You're trying to finish. Now, go ahead. All right. So my question here was, how important is the finish for you? Knowing that the only times you have lost in mixed martial arts, you were undefeated as an amateur. Okay, you were an absolute fucking killer. And then in your second pro fight, we stumble against Levi Mouse, who we're rematching on Friday. And then your only other two losses are the current UFC fighters, Miles Johns and Domingo Pilarte, and they were split decisions. How important is it to get these finishes, knowing that when it goes to the judges, sorry, I threw that down pretty hard. When it goes to the judges' scorecards, sometimes it doesn't go your way.
Man, I think about it, and honestly, I think about those 2 losses a lot more than I should. Because they're steadily on my mind. Because I believe I won those fights. I do believe I won those fights. So now, like every time I've gone into a fight, I've been a little bit more. If I hurt them, I have to finish them. I have to finish them. I have to finish them. So I think during this my current record, I've had 7 finishes, and two of my wins go to decision. So, and then even in those 2 wins that went to decision, I hurt the guys.
Mm-hmm.
They were wobbly. They were stunned on their feet. So I think I do a pretty good job of finishing. So I just want to keep that streak up. I want to keep that finishing rate high. So that to me is really important. Because you just never know with these judges. And in my last title fight with Miles,
Mm-hmm.
I felt I completely had round 1, round 4 and 5. So I got the split decision and lost. So it automatically, with my next two opponents I fought, ended up getting the raw end of the stick. So I came out pissed off in those 2 fights, and I got the finish in those 2.
Okay. Excuse me. And look, there's no shame in your early loss to Miles. He's a tough guy. He's proven to be a tough guy. And then your only 2 other losses are to current UFC fighters. So there ain't no shame in that, man. But I'm glad that you're still keeping it on the forefront of your mind and knowing that there has to be a change made so that this sort of thing doesn't happen to you again. So it shows that
I've definitely started I do see no shame in those losses, because I fought pretty hard, but now I'm just like on a different, like I need to hurt somebody. And then that loss to Miles to Levi, in the beginning of my career, what's crazy is that I got my jaw broken in that first round with Levi. I don't know if y'all knew that, but
I had no idea.
That very first round, he landed a straight right, and it broke my jaw in that fight. And I was still able to go all 3. So hey, just because I'm not a quitter, so I kept fighting all the way to the end.
Well, that much is evident. You've never been finished. Now, are you surprised that 5 years later, fast forward, you guys are the top, 2 of the top guys in the bantamweight division for LFA. Are you surprised at all that you get the rematch in the headlining bout this Friday?
I was not surprised. I'll say I was surprised, but yet not surprised, because
I'm not surprised, motherfucker.
I was surprised, but yet not surprised, because we're both. We both, after that fight, we both just kind of elevated our games, and we've gotten better. But I honestly didn't think we'd get the top slot. I thought we'd be the co-main or the featured bout. I didn't think we'd be the main event, because I thought they were going to put a title fight right above us. But I'm really glad that we did ended up getting the top slot, because I don't mind headlining and carding. What people didn't get to see our first fight, from our first fight, it was a really good fight. Now people get to see it as a main event, and for everybody else, it's going to be a treat, and I actually, I'm really liking that we got the top spot. We get to show everybody what that first fight was about. Now we get to show them how much better we got, and how much, and how much more skilled we got. So, this fight is going to be a phenomenal fight. I'm coming out on top, and it's going to be a different result. I'm coming out on top, and it's going to be fun. I'm going to have a fun time.
You see, I like the respect and I like the confidence, man. It's 2 things that either are in an overabundance of, or there's not enough of, right? So I'm enjoying this respect era, if you will, of MMA. It's kind of going back to the roots, if you will. Anyways, so look, Adrian Yanez can be followed on Twitter at Yanez MMA. Okay, and then his Instagram, now correct me if I'm wrong here, but I got quick hands, It's Adrian Yanez 93. That's your Instagram handle?
Yes, sir.
Damn, see, I'm good. I didn't know I was that good. Okay, and he fights out of Metro Fight Club in Houston. He fights this week, sorry, not this weekend, this Friday, Dallas, Texas, over at the Bomb Factory, right?
Yes, sir. Bomb Factory, Dallas, Texas, man. It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, and I'm really not surprised that LFA gave you guys the headlining bout, because you guys are two of the most exciting bantamweights within their organization. So I can honestly say I'm not surprised, motherfucker. So again, I want to thank you for your time. Is there anybody you would like to thank or give a shout out before we let you go?
Man, I'd just like to give a shout out to everybody who's supporting me through all this. I got plenty of people behind me. My coach, Salsa Lee, my brother, AJ, my mom, my girlfriend. Everybody who's been behind me 100%. If it wasn't for them, I probably would have quit. A while back ago. But they pushed me to this, helped push me to this level. And I'm really grateful for all of them. They've done a lot. And then also another name to throw in there, Jacob Silva. He's constantly calling me, texting me, telling me, even though how good I've gotten, he'll be like, man, you still ain't shit. Get your ass in the gym. So I love those little text messages. We got a little group chat going on with those Metro guys. So shout out to them. I got a lot of training partners, too many to name. So I'll just keep it short and sweet.
Alright, cool. Well, again, I want to thank you for getting with us on Fight Week, so I'm pretty sure you're probably in the middle of a weight cut. Hopefully that's going well. I don't want no hiccups. I want to see this fight on Friday because I am 100% invested. So that's Adrian Yanez in the headlining bout versus Levi Miles, a rematch 5 years in the making. I cannot fucking wait, sir.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm excited.
Alright, man. Well, good luck. Safe weight cut, and we'll see you on Friday, my man.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
All right. We'll talk to you later, Adrian.